Part 2. Unfortunately, I hit the button with my finger trying to crawl underneath there. So you see this light isn't working. This is down by the switches. You know, down by the battery switch. That one's not working. But the other ones on the other side are. So we have several defective lights, including this one here. Let me turn that on. Let's see. Docking front and rear. Courtesy lights. Let's turn them all on. I got a listing for underwater lights, but they don't seem to work. Only half the light on the rear is working on the T-top. Actually, the front one's working. It's fogged up with water, but it's working. So I have at least 4 LED lights that are inoperable, and let's show you down in here. You can see those lights are on, but this one still is not on. You can see it there, hopefully. Okay. This one here, this particular locker, this ring was installed cross-threaded. I have a picture of it with a big huge gap underneath it. It was just cross-threaded, but as I mentioned before, none of them were actually tightened down. They were just hand installed, and all of them had the bulging gaskets. I'll get off that subject, but that was another thing, that one was even cross-threaded. It wasn't even installed properly. The fuel, here's a question I'm going to have too, because I'm not sure if there's a ventilation problem or if it's designed this way where it's a sealed system. When I open this up, it just gasps air out, and it just, so it was full of pressure when I did it earlier, and it just kept blowing out for probably 5 seconds or so. It was a long time, which I'm not sure if there's a check valve on the pressure of the tank or if it's actually a problem, and I'm going to end out in the water with a stalled engine because of a vapor lock in the system. That's, I'm really concerned about going out in the water and getting stuck out there because of a vapor lock. Of course, I'll be able to know that I need to open the gas cap to allow that to get its vacuum released, but that should be how it works. But if it's a check valve, great, then that means it's holding in all the pressure. Let's see, the T-top defect. A pretty big defect right here. That's right where you're visually looking at the thing all the time. It gets hazy here, and there's like white powder spray all over the side here. I don't know if it can be seen easily, focused in, but it has a white powder spray all underside of it. I'm not sure what that's from. Maybe that was a touch-up of some screws or something, and they just got some overspray on it. This is something I have to try to clean off. It's like tape from most likely the thing being, you know, taped closed, but you know, leaving that for the end user is a real pain in the tush. Just had to use some specialty cleaners. There's more screws that are hanging down that are super sharp, you know, and metal pieces, burrs hanging off. Yeah, let's see what else was there, because they're pretty good list of stuff. I think that pretty well covers the majority of it. I took photos of everything. I made this video a little bit long. I'll show you hours on this thing real quick to make sure, you know, it's noted that all this was before it even entered the water. Engine has not even been cranked up at all since I owned it. Let's see, this thing's taking that long to boot up. quite a long time. It's in the on position. Well, that's kind of a long time. Refuel. Cancel. Alright, engine hours 006. So learning about that system, but that shows you that it hasn't been used. When I got it, there was a damage on here. I brought this up to the dealer though, and he told me that he could he gave me some money off because of that, because he said he couldn't fix it, but I did catch that when we bought it, so that's on me. All right, I guess this concludes my video. Like the boat, feel good about the boat, but unfortunately I'm going to have to take it in to have service done on the boat before I even get to use it. Main thing is the bilge. Sorry, not the bilge, but the actual drain here is one of the biggest things, and then the rest are really cosmetic. The bow eye was not cosmetic. That's something that could cause damage if not used properly. I didn't mention the bezel here. So this with the, this is the bezel up here. This is where the defect is. I don't know if I can catch it in there. The screws holding the bezel in are hand tight. They're not tightened down. So I can take this bezel and move it. I'm not sure if you can see my hand, but you can see it actually moves. It's not held in place very tight. So that's something that I could take a wrench and tighten up, but it's also something that somebody spending $80,000 should not have to go do and go through all that. All right, I don't know if there's anything that they could do about the caulking joints. I'm sure you guys are already aware of that. That's one of the things that doesn't show very well on this boat is the caulking joints. But that's not a horrible thing, but just a heads up, that is something that shows kind of poorly on this boat. All right, so I hope I can get this to the right people and I can get some repairs done.